Good afternoon, everyone. It is 6 p.m. and I am calling this regular city council meeting to order. First, I would like to ask everyone to please silence your cell phones. I'm also asking everyone to be respectful of others by keeping any side conversations down out of respect for others who are here to listen to the meeting. I pledge to build a stronger and more prosperous community by advocating for civil engagement, respecting others and their viewpoints, and finding solutions for the betterment of our city of Lake City, South Carolina. The invocation tonight will be led by Councilwoman Scott, and the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Mayor Pro Tem Cooper. Can we all please stand?
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you, dear God, for your grace and your mercy. We thank you for this day. We thank you, dear God, for Lake City community and all around. We pray to heaven for the world. We have a special prayer today for our chief and his grieving. We pray to Heavenly Father that you will cover them and take them through this trying time. Let no harm or danger come upon them, Lord. Bless them right now in the mighty name of Jesus. Not only that, Lord, remember the youth in the city of Lake City. Let as they go back to school, remember the teachers and everyone that involved with our children. Bless them in the mighty name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilwoman Scott. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Cooper. Madam Clerk, can you please poll the city council members?
Mayor Yumika Robinson,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem DeWanda Cooper,
Present.
Councilmember Melissa Askins,
Present.
Councilmember Wilhelmina Scott,
Present.
Councilmember Sandra Fleming Crosby,
Present.
Councilmember Nicole Singletary,
Present.
Councilmember Jason Brown. Mayor, we have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
And before the adoption of the agenda, I'd like to amend the agenda to include verbiage in there regarding the vehicle that the mayor drives. And we can add that under new business for tonight. We'll have a discussion on the vehicle, the mayor's vehicle. Under new business would be number 3.
So you want to make a motion to amend the agenda,
To include,
new business.
under new business, to discuss the vehicle you're driving.
That's your motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
It has been moved in second. Any questions? All in favor, show of hands. Any opposed?
How many were?
4, not 4, more than
Oh,
myself.
let's do that again. All in favor, show of hands.
Okay, so 4. Okay.
Any opposed?
Now we have 6.
I have a question.
Okay.
Okay, I don't understand what it is, what I'm voting for.
But
To
this
amend what?
right here, she made a motion to amend the agenda to add, to have a discussion during new business about the mayor's vehicle.
Okay, discussion.
Am I,
How did you
Okay, go ahead, let's discuss.
So,
I
okay,
don't know.
let's do the.
I wanna
vote
hear it more
with
better,
discussion. So
understanding.
all that's in favor of the discussion, raise your hand.
So you're in favor of discussion?
Right.
Okay, 5, all right. And then all opposed. Okay, thank you.
Technically, under Robert's rules, for there to be added to the agenda, you need an exigent or an emergency circumstance. And so, and you need a 2/3 approval. You can state that there's an emergency or exigent circumstance or facts that would support that, just for clarity under Robert's rules.
Okay,
And then y'all can vote. That was 4 out of 6, so
That
it
was
is
5.
5 out of 6.
5 out of 1, so you've met the 2/3, but I would encourage you to state on the record what would provide an emergency or exigent circumstance for it to be discussed tonight. Does that make sense?
Okay, well,
Let me offer this as.
Okay.
Or you could just bring the exigent circumstances, you really need to say it's an emergency.
Okay,
Now.
For it to be added.
Within 24 hours,
Within 24
you cannot amend an agenda absent an emergency or exigent circumstance.
okay, okay. Well,
So my advice would be to put it on the agenda. in
September, okay,
Regularly scheduled meeting of September.
okay. Well, this kind of emergent, but since it's used to advising this, can we accept that?
Okay.
Okay.
So now I need a motion to adopt the agenda as printed.
Move to adopt.
Second.
It has been moved and second. Any questions, council? If none, all in favor, show of hands. Any opposed? Thank you, motion carries. Now I need a motion to approve the minutes for July 14th regular city council meeting.
Move to approve.
It has been moved and second. Any questions? If none, all in favor, show of hands. Any opposed? Motion carries. At this moment, we are going to pause and take a minute for and invite Mr. Mark Wood. Go ahead, Mr. Whitaker.
Good evening, City Council and everyone. Before we proceed, a significant milestone, we have a significant milestone in subdivision. Tonight, we're here to recognize a major achievement for the city of Lake City. We are officially off the state's delinquent audit list. I think that deserves a and I think I shared with you all the list that came out this year. I mean, it was maybe 50 or 60 cities that were on there. As you recall, a year ago, our city was facing a dire financial situation. The state's treasurer's office was withholding about $400,000 critical funds because our financial reporting was delinquent. We were forced to make deep cuts to staff and services. The situation had become so serious that Florence County had to step in with a loan to help us to avoid bankruptcy. Tonight, there's evidence of what happens when a community decides to turn things around. 1 year later, our FY 2025 audit has been completed, submitted, and accepted by the state. Lake City is back in compliance and will not have state funds withheld. This did not happen by accident. It was because of a dedicated city council that understand good government requires good people. These good people, professional expertise, and accountability. It happens because we invested in the right professionals. I want to specifically thank our support services director, Ms. Werner, for taking ownership of the process and leading it intentionally. I want to thank our finance team, Rebecca and Amanda, and our partners, Shane Kirtley, our CPA, Shane Kirtley. And tonight you get to meet one of my heroes. He did some real serious work in Chester to help that city stay afloat. A gentleman named Mr. Mark Wood from Shaheen, Hancock, and Goodwin. We called him and said, hey man, we want to get off the naughty list. Let's go. And him and his team came and did it. So it's not just a piece of paper that showed that we're compliant. It's evidence when a governing body understands that good government requires good people, hires them, supports them, and inspects them to deliver. And so without further ado, I want to introduce Mr. Mark Wood, and he's going to take us through our audit presentation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Malik. Good evening, council.
Good
Good
evening.
It's a
evening.
pleasure to be here tonight. You should have just a stapled copy of a communication with city council. Instead of trying to flip through your audit report, this is what we're going to go through tonight. And what I'll do is I'll reference the financial information. I'll reference the pages that you can find that in the audit report in case you want to look at it as we go through, or you want to look at it later on.
You can later.
So, table of contents, if you go to the executive audit summary page, that's where we'll get started. So for 6/30/25, the city of Lake City received an unmodified opinion. That's the highest opinion we can give on a set of financial statements, so congratulations for that. The section A, that just kind of gives you an outline of the audit report of kind of the different aspects. So you've got your auditor's report, which is our opinion, your management discussion and analysis, the basic financial statements, the notes, supplementary information in the compliance section. So that's pretty self-explanatory. The different funds that the city has, you've got a general fund, which is a major fund. You've got various special revenue funds, which are non-major funds. You've got a water fund, sewer fund, and you've got stormwater, okay? Under C, this information, if for future reference, is coming out of page 15 of your audit report. But for the general fund, your total assets were a little over $1 million. Your liabilities and your deferred inflows were 2.2, so your fund balance, unfortunately for 6/30/25, was a negative $1.2 million. For your other governmental funds, this information can be found on page 61 if you want to see the details of what make up these numbers. These are combined. $625,000, your liabilities and deferred inflows were almost $400,000, so your fund balance is about $227,000, okay? Proprietary funds, this can be found on page 19, and what I did is I've combined water and sewer together, so if you want to see these separate, you can look at page 19 and there's separate columns for each one. But for combined, it's 40.3 million for total assets and deferred outflows. Liabilities and deferred inflows is 16.1 million, so your net position, your equity, is 24.1 million. Stormwater, you've got assets of about 450,000, and that's your equity, okay? Your revenue, or breakdown of fund balance for the general fund and your governmental funds, again, this can be found on page 15. You've got some non-spendable, which are prepaids of $5,000. You've got $380,000 that's restricted for tourism-related expenditures. You've got $77,000 that's restricted for capital projects. You've got about $650,000 committed for court replacement and future capital outlays, so your unassigned fund balance for 6/30/25 is a negative 2.3 million. For your other governmental funds, you've got restricted for tourism of about 73,000 and public safety of about 154. And I've got a comment down here, reserve in months per annualized expenditures. The rule of thumb is you want to have 3 to 6 months in fund balance reserves. And the reason that is your revenue doesn't come in every month like your expenditures are. You've got certain times where you get a big bulk of revenue, and that's got to sustain you through the rest of the year. So you can see right now, as of 6/30/25, you've got a negative 2.4 months in reserves, which is a negative almost 20%. The minimum that should be a percentage of reserves should at least be 25%. And we'll talk about that here when I conclude, about some things that the city has done to improve this for 26, okay? On page 19 of the report, this is how your equity breaks down for proprietary funds. Again, I've combined water and sewer together, so the bulk of your equity is in your capital assets of 24.2 million. You've got 380,000 for restricted for debt service, and then your unrestricted is a negative 400,000 in water and sewer. Stormwater is unrestricted is 400,000. Again, you want to have a 3 to 6 month reserve. You know, right now that just isn't the case for 25. Page 17 is where you'll find the information for the revenues. There's also some detail on pages 56 and 62 of the audit report that goes into more details about the different departments and the different revenues that the city gets. But for the general fund, total revenues were 7.9 million. Operating expenditures were 11.6, and you had some transfers of about 1.5. So that's where your negative change in fund balance of 2.2 comes from. For your other governmental funds, total revenue was 1.5. Operating expenditures were 540,000, and your transfers out was 950. So your positive change in fund balance for your other governmental funds was about $22,000. For your proprietary funds, this can be found on page 20. And also, there's detail on pages 63 and 64 that you can look at. But your operating revenues for water and sewer combined was 5.4 million. Operating expenses were about 5.4. Your non-operating income and expenses, that's your interest on your bonds. That was 369, and then you had transfers out of 488. So your negative change in that position for 6/30/25 was 890,000. Stormwater had $213,000 in revenue, and it had transfers out of 50,000. We're not going to go through it, but I just want to point out that if you want to kind of see where the negative fund balance was generated from for the general fund, you can flip to page 56 of your audit report. This is a budget to actual comparison. And so you can kind of see what kind of led to the big negative. And a lot of it had to do with how property taxes and taxes were being budgeted. So I would just, tell you to kind of look at that so you'll get an understanding of why the negative happened. That's really all I've got, unless anybody's got questions, and I'm happy to answer any questions. But before we do that, I just want to thank Malik and Nicole and the finance staff for all their help. We came in, gosh, I think we were here for about 2 weeks, and we certainly put these guys through the ringer. We asked a lot of questions, demanded a lot of information, and they were very responsive in getting this. And so that helped us be able to get this report done on time. And I also want to thank your outside consultant, Shane. Shane is a good friend of mine, and he does really good work. And I think what you're going to see, and I think Shane's going to present tonight, 26, I think you're going to see the decisions y'all made based on this 25 audit. I think you're going to see those improvements starting to happen in 26. And so I want to thank Shane as well, because he was very instrumental in helping get this done as well. He provided us with a bunch of schedules and information. So I just want to thank them for all their hard work. It certainly made our job a lot easier. And we've certainly enjoyed working with the city and look forward to working with them in the future. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody's got. If you don't have any tonight, I understand, but if you do, you can direct questions through Nicole or Shane, and they can get in touch with me, and I'm happy to answer anything you've got.
Okay. Well, we thank you,
Yes.
and kudos to Malik and Shane and Verna. We all stand, please. They have done such a fabulous job. Now, Ms. Verna was on vacation last week, but during her vacation, and Mr. Malik was the week before, and I know for a fact during their vacation, they were still on the phone, working all hours of the night, because Mr. Malik on his vacation was sending emails 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, because he likes to write novels.
Yeah, but I don't send them out to the next day, most of the time.
But, well, you send these novels every day, and so that lets you know the hard work that you all doing and your dedication, and we want to commend you. Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts.
Mr. Mark has to go to Johnsonville. So
And thank you, Mr. Auditor,
You're welcome. It was my pleasure.
for a job well done, I guess. So we'll, if I have any questions, we'll get with them.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wood.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for the presentation. Next on the agenda, we have proclamations. First we have retired Captain Thomas Black if he can please come up front with any family members, friends, co-workers, entire fire department. Can you come up front, please?
That third one, though, deserves
A proclamation to present to you tonight. I know it's kind of bittersweet because you don't have Chief Driggers here with you tonight, with everyone. But we're going to definitely keep him and his family in our prayers. And you know, if he could be here, he would be here. A proclamation recognizing Captain Thomas Black for more than 26 years of dedicated service to the Lake City Fire Department and the citizens of Lake City. Whereas the City of Lake City recognizes the courage, sacrifice, and commitment of the men and women who serve our community as firefighters and first responders. And whereas Captain Thomas Black has faithfully served the Lake City Fire Department for more than 26 years, dedicating his time, talent, and energy to protecting the lives, homes, and property of the citizens of Lake City. And whereas throughout his distinguished service, Captain Black has responded to emergencies at all hours of the day and night and has devoted countless hours to training, preparedness, emergency response, and service to his fellow firefighters and the community. And whereas Captain Black's more than 26 years of service represent the extraordinary commitment to public service and exemplify the highest ideals of courage, professionalism, selflessness, and civic responsibility. And whereas while Captain Black is retiring from his career with the Lake City Fire Department, he has chosen to continue serving the citizens of Lake City as a volunteer firefighter, demonstrating that his commitment to the department and to the community extends beyond his formal career. And whereas the City of Lake City is grateful for Captain Black's many years of faithful service and recognizes the lasting impact he has made on the department, his fellow firefighters, and the citizens he has served. And whereas it is fitting and appropriate that the City of Lake City publicly recognize and honor Captain Thomas Black for his extraordinary service and dedication to our community. Now, therefore, I, Yamika Robinson, Mayor of the City of Lake City, South Carolina, on behalf of the City Council and the citizens of Lake City, do hereby recognize and honor Captain Thomas Black for more than 26 years of dedicated service to the Lake City Fire Department and the City of Lake City, and express our sincere appreciation for his courage, sacrifice, commitment, and continued service to our community. Be it further proclaimed that the City of Lake City extends its heartfelt congratulations to Captain Thomas Black upon his retirement and its sincere gratitude for his continued willingness to serve as a volunteer firefighter. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the official seal of the City of Lake City, South Carolina, this 11th day of August 2026. Signed by yours truly, Yamika Robinson, Mayor of this great city of Lake City, South Carolina. Congratulations. I'm gonna say congratulations to the wife as well. I think, Nicole got it. Come in, come get tighter, come tighter. Sorry, I'm sorry, Nicole.
1, 2, 3.
All right. Yes, any words? He didn't want me to say that, ask that. None, okay. Thank you, thank you. Let's get him. Sit here, volunteer Calvin E. Burgess, the late volunteer Calvin E. Burgess, and retired engineer honorary battalion chief Albert Jenkins Jr. I would just like to state and take this moment to recognize the lives and legacies of Mr. Calvin Burgess and Mr. Albert Jenkins Jr., two men who made significant contributions to our Lake City community. A couple of weeks ago, I had the honor of presenting a funeral resolution to both families during their funeral services. Mr. Calvin Burgess dedicated much of his life to serving others. In addition to his military service in the United States Army, he served over 25 years as a volunteer with the Lake City Fire Department. He was a minister who devoted himself to helping others through his faith and community service. His life truly reflected a commitment to serving both God and his community. Mr. Albert Jenkins Jr. leaves behind a remarkable and historic legacy with the city of Lake City. He joined the Lake City Fire Department and went on to dedicate in 20-plus years of service. He holds a significant place in our city's history as the first full-time African-American firefighter for the city of Lake City. His decades of service helped protect generations of Lake City families and establish a legacy of service that will continue beyond his years. Both men answered the call to serve, protect, and make a true difference in our community. Next week, thank you, yes. Next, we have recognitions, or actually it's a presentation from Florence County Emergency Management Department.
Good evening, Council.
Good evening.
Thank you for inviting us to join you guys today. We really appreciate the time. I'm Brandon Vance. For those of you that haven't met me, about a year ago, I was hired on as Florence County's new emergency manager. With me today, I have Jessica Joe, because someone is better speaking publicly than I am. So, I just wanted to come and present to you a little bit about emergency management, what we do for the county, for Lake City, and how we work together with all of our municipal organizations, volunteer organizations, and all of our first responders. As with any major emergency, it all begins with a plan, right? So Florence County, my department, most of what I do is I write plans. We have a team of 3 people specifically that focus on our emergency operations plan for the county, hazard mitigation plans. We identify all of the threats that face Lake City, face the county, and all of our partners here. And then we try to coordinate how that response looks when the event actually happens. That plan requires a lot of work. We do a lot of training exercises. We do exercise with HB Robinson, which is nowhere in Florence County, but we could be affected by an event that happens there. We do exercises with the state every year, and then we continuously are doing exercises with different commercial partners, Thermo Fisher, Clarios, companies like that that have significant impact in our community. And we work with them, we work with the American Red Cross, we work with our power companies, we work with utilities, we work with everybody to try and ensure that no matter what happens in Florence County, we are always prepared to maintain our ability to respond and keep essential services available to all of our people, right? The next thing we often do is we act on that, so the actual disaster occurs, hopefully, that doesn't actually happen. But you name it, hurricane, flooding, January we activated for ice storm, which was not common. My first year back in South Carolina, I was not happy about that. Coming from New England, I was really excited to not see snow. But we act on that, right? So we respond to those emergencies and we try to make sure that everybody maintains their safety, maintains their ability to take care of themselves, to care for others, and respond to anybody who does need additional help. And then, of course, the leading part of all of that is our ability to improve that process. So after every event, every exercise, every training that we do, we actually do after-action reviews where we identify gaps, we identify areas of improvement, and then we incorporate together a plan to fill those gaps so that the next time it happens, we are better prepared and able to respond. Let's see. I got to flip pages because I'm not as prepared as Jessica, sorry. Of course, I work for Florence County. Obviously, I represent the local government, and if you ever heard anything about emergency management, every emergency starts and ends local. FEMA loves to come and say, hey, we're here to help. By here to help, that means we'll give you some money, but it's your people who are going to handle the problem and take care of the community here. So it starts here and it always ends here. And the way we do that is we coordinate operations. So if you've never been to Effingham, you invited me here, you're more than welcome to come to Effingham. I'll show you the Emergency Operations Center where we bring all those people into one room and we coordinate resources from there. We ask the state, we ask FEMA for more resources if we don't have them. We coordinate the resources that we have here with county resources, municipal resources. So I know Lake City's been called on a few times. You know, we coordinate those resources from that Emergency Operations Center. We maintain our communications. We communicate clearly and often. By communicate, I mean Jessica communicates clearly and often on my behalf. So we have, one of our handouts actually has a QR code. You can actually sign up for a program we use called Regroup. Regroup is actually our mass notification system that we actually use to send everybody immediate information. It doesn't just go to government. It doesn't just go to first responders. It goes to every citizen who's signed up for it. Currently, Florence County has about 54,000 people signed up for it. That's 100,000 people less than that are actually here in Florence County, so we'd love to see more people engaged with us there. And then the biggest part of government is sustaining essential services. When the government fails, the community fails. So one of the things I've been doing since I showed up here is focus on resiliency and continuity of government. So one of the things I bought Starlink right away. I said, if the internet goes down and all we have is generator power for the building, I can power a Starlink antenna, and at least our government has internet capacity. We're able to communicate through that. We can send out regroup notifications via text message. We can access the internet. We can do things that the government needs to do to continue to maintain those essential services. And then I continuously am looking for ways for us to maintain our resiliency, find other ways to continue operating, because as you guys learned over the last year, right, a good government is where it starts, and you got to be able to function. So I'm going to turn the rest of our presentation over to Jessica and let her talk about community engagement and what she does to make sure that everything goes smoothly. But thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good evening. So I will apologize if anyone has gotten a notification like 2 o'clock in the morning. I do apologize. I was only asked to do that, okay? But like Brandon said, everything starts with the community. And we're behind a whole community approach. So with emergency management, it works best when the whole community helps with the readiness. So within Florence County, through public meetings like these, social media, public events, like Cops in the Park, our Storm Ready Expo. So if y'all haven't attended one of those, we partner with Duke with one of those. It's wonderful. It's a fun time. But those are the things that we kind of use and utilize to help kind of put the back end of it, emergency management, first responders, whatever, with the front end, those on the community, so that we can all rely together and work together. So within the community, we're going to talk about residents, faith groups, businesses, schools, nonprofits. All of those are different aspects within the community that we all need to rely on each other. One thing he did mention was practice. So the whole purpose of us doing these practices are to identify those gaps, not just within the government, but even within our homes. So whenever something occurs, I need to know what I need to do, what my family need to do. You know, everyone needs to know exactly where to go, what to do, what to say, what to grab, whatever. But at the time of an emergency is the wrong time to ask, did somebody remember to do this? Did somebody remember to call grandma? That's the wrong time. So that's kind of why we practice. So 4 actions every household can take. For one, know your risk. We're in Florence County, back-to-back winter storms in January. We're now in hurricane season. Flooding, severe weather, anything can happen. And it doesn't have to just be hurricane season in order for that severe weather to happen. Back in, I want to say it was May, we had a pop-up storm that caused trees down. There was, 2 houses that a tree, I think, fell on. So anything can happen, but at any time, we also need to be ready. So know your risk, make a household plan, decide how you're going to get those alerts, where you're going to shelter, when you're going to evacuate, how family members will reconnect. One thing we like to say is don't prepare just your family in state, prepare those family members out of state. Because one thing people do not know is that it's easier to make a long distance call than it is to make a local call whenever it's an emergency, because everyone is tying up those lines. So I have someone out of state to go ahead and say, hey, if such and such calls you, just let them know we're okay, we're meeting this. Have that point of contact out of state to make sure that everyone can, know exactly where everyone is and what's going on. Build a kit. Keep your water, non-perishable food items, medications, chargers, any kind of important documents. You want to always keep those together and readily accessible. But lastly, but most importantly, get involved. So you want to share that reliable information, checking on your neighbors, especially those elderly neighbors, those with access and functional needs, anything like that. Anyone who may not be able to be as prepared as you due to mobility or some other kind of disability, check on them. I think we're over 5 minutes, but I'm gonna speed this up. So preparedness is a continuous practice. It's not something that we do for one season on the calendar. When the next emergency happens, that is not the time to exchange contact information, test notification systems, learn evacuation routes, or discover unmet needs. So this month, just take one simple action. Update your plan, sign up for local alerts, check your kit, or talk with a neighbor. You can always rely on our social medias or my wonderful alerts to wake you up and keep you notified. But that is my one step for everyone, just to plan, prepare, and to practice.
Thank you.
And I will bring these. Want me to put
Yes.
them back here?
You can put them back on the table. Carry the purse. Thank you both for coming to give us that insightful information to help our governing body and our staff and our community be prepared for anything that may occur. Because we are, like she said, in hurricane season at this moment. Thank you. Thank you. Next, we have public comment period. The city council welcomes comments on matters within the city's business or this meeting's agenda. Speakers are limited to 2 minutes. To ensure proper follow-up, please sign in with your name and address with city clerk. For specific actions or questions, visit City Hall from between 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily, Monday through Friday, or contact your elected officials via the city's website. Uncivil or disruptive comments will not be entertained. And we do have 4 people that signed up on tonight, and in this order: Ms. Maddie Thomas, Ms. Teresa Brown, Ms. Harriet Rose, and Ms. Paula Morris. In that order, please.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I told you I'd be back, and I'm back. I'm so glad the emergency service is here tonight, because it's nice to have a beautiful city, sidewalks and everything, nice thing growing. But why do we allow trees to go in power lines? We know we in hurricane. We have these bad hurricanes and everything. Could we ask for shrubbery instead of this? But these trees are growing under these power lines. You come out on Independence, if you don't live here, you gotta come all the way out in the street. Accident waiting to happen. Benton Street, accident waiting to happen. Back of CVS, accident waiting to happen. What we want, beauty or death? And I'm saying it just like that, because nobody paid me no attention. You're absolutely right. Don't expect no answers. I didn't get one. But I'll be back next month, because everybody knows I said right here. And I've been doing that ever since 2006, when I moved back to the city. And I promise you, I'm gonna come back here until somebody address me with this issue, because it's very important to me. I come before the city with concerns. Thank you for all the hard work you did, but we have an election. Elections have consequences, so let's take care of Lake City. That means the citizens and all your people up there, including myself, because I'm an elected official, we are hired to take care of one thing, Lake City. Let's make sure we focus on Lake City. Thank you.
Ms. Brown.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Teresa Brown. I'm with Quality Life Resource Center. And in that program that we have a program called Moms on a Mission, which I knew a lot of you probably know about us, because we actually set up the casket and we build a jail cell, which we go around in the community, different counties, and we set it up to let them know with gun violence awareness. I just wanted Lake City to know who we are and what all that we do over at on Charles Street. Sorry about this. We give out food to the community. We go into the community and we talk with the kids. We have different programs, and one of our programs is with Moms on a Mission. We work with the funeral home. So that means that the kids, you might call us and say that someone is acting up. We have the kids that actually want to be able to come to the funeral home to see the back of it. The back of it is when you're playing a game, and when you shoot the game, you get back up. But real life, you don't get back up. You don't get back up. You either have the casket or you have the jail cell, in which we have the jail cell built because we let them know two mothers are mourning at the same time. One mourning for death and one mourning because her son is going to jail. So we losing two kids and two families is falling apart in the community, and that's caused the community to mourn. So when we mothers, we have to sit and we watch each other crying. They're crying because we the one have to be able to be there for each other. If we're not there for each other, then we lost. So we need to build up Lake City. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Brown.
Good evening, everyone. Please excuse me, coming down with a cold. I'm here tonight in representing PD Coalition and also representing PD Coalition because I do have an office in this building. And I'm here to thank you all for letting PD Coalition, me, reside in kind donation. I've been here about 7 years and seen a lot of all police officers, chiefs, everyone come and go. I must say that I never had any problems. Everyone has been kind to me. Everyone has worked with me, getting into the community. And I just must come here and say that thank you. We appreciate my executive director, Ellen Hamilton. She wasn't able to be here this evening, but I feel as though that it would have come over better coming from me because I have really appreciated working with the city of Lake City. And I must say, council, you all have been good to us. And I must say that all the employees that I have worked with that are not, a lot of them not here anymore, that they have always been good to PD Coalition. And I try to be a good example for the city. So I'm asking you all to please keep us here. And please let me do what I love to do best, and that is serving my community. Because I am a resident of Lake City, South Carolina. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council person, and to the community. Just two quick announcements. I represent two groups tonight. One is the prayer circle group here in Lake City, and we're having our second youth and children Let's Talk on August the 30th at 5 p.m. at the Main Street Elementary gym. We're inviting the mayor and city council to come out. I'm inviting other electoral officials, those who are running for candidates, to come out. We're inviting pastors, parents, and all. We want to hear our youth concerns as they give us the concerns they have about our city on faith, politics, whatever it is. So I would love to see all of you there on August the 30th. And then on September the 26th, as I represent community, we want, trying to bring the city together, black, white, Asian, all Hispanic, that we come together. September the 26th, beginning at 10 a.m. at the Blandon Street Field. We're gonna have a kickball tournament. So City of Lake City, get your T-shirts, get your colors, and meet us there. But contact Paula Morris at 843-598-2236 and give me your name, give me your team name, because we want to come together and have a day of fun. We will have food. Everything is free. Community is providing everything. We don't care whether 1,000 people is there, 1,000 people will eat. But it's time for us to come together and fellowship together. So get your knee pads, old people like me, and come on and let's have some fun. Community, you are invited to come and let's, you're an athlete, let's play some ball. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for the public comment period. Next, we go to legislative. Mr. Whitaker.
Good evening.
Good evening.
All right. Our first resolution, 2639. This resolution updates 2 city fees so that it better reflects the city's current cost of providing these services. First, the base towing fee would increase from $125 to $275 because the current fees no longer cover the city's costs associated with towing services. Second, the commercial demolition permit fee would be updated to $100 for the first 1,000 square feet, and then $15 for each additional 1,000 square feet. All other towing, storage, wincing, after-hours demolition fees will remain unchanged. We're asking council to approve these changes so the fees charged for these services are more in line with that, what it actually costs to provide them. The new rates would take effect September 1st, 2026. We're just asking for your support.
Okay, Mr.
Let me get a motion. Yes. Can I get a motion to approve Resolution 2026-039?
Move to approve.
It's been properly moved in second. Now for discussion.
Mr. Malik, Mr. Whitaker, for the public's sake, can you give a little more detail about the towing fees and
Right, and I'll call
how
it
this
Rollins.
really came about?
But yeah, the basic idea is, we have a rate schedule. You all approved at certain rates, and now we're going and looking, saying it doesn't cover the cost to provide the service, the actual cost, so.
So it's amendment.
Say that again?
No, it's an amendment. Right.
That's what the word.
It's an
the
amendment
word
to
it
the
says
rate schedule.
amendment,
It
yes.
says amendment.
Amendment.
And so,
Okay.
Rollins, you wanna talk a little bit about that?
So our rate is 220,
125,
125.
yeah.
For the towing, the city doesn't get a dime of that. But at this point, it costs the tow truck more, or they're losing coming to get, whether the police department calls for a tow, or whoever. So that money goes straight to the tow truck, so the rates need to be
So we're not,
risen.
right. That's the actual cost of the service.
Yeah.
125.
No,
For the
275 is the actual cost,
It doesn't affect the city either way.
just covering the cost.
We're not getting the money. They're getting the money. The tow company's getting the money.
Okay, now how many vendors do we have? How many tow companies?
7?
Okay. Do you have a current list?
I can get you one.
Okay.
Sure.
I'd like to get a list. And are these people, have they signed contracts
We
to
have go
justify?
out, not so much a contract, but there is a regulations the state puts out. They have to carry insurance, they have to have a locked storage area, secure storage area. There's a list of things that we have to check, the police department,
Okay,
to make sure they're up to code with it.
okay. Now,
Just anybody can't be on our tow list.
okay.
They have to abide by certain regulations.
Okay, so they don't have to provide you any documentation of having their insurance and everything?
They do.
Okay, we keep it on file here with the city? Okay, how often do you check?
I haven't checked yet,
Well, you haven't been here long,
since I've
so-
been here, right?
okay.
But I'm not sure when the last time they checked.
Okay. I'd like to know how often they're checked, because these insurances expire annually, and so.
I know that every record service we use,
the state and the county use them as well. But yeah, I can get that to you.
So I'm still trying to understand how, if the city is not benefiting from it, how,
The city is
We're-
benefiting, we just not making money.
okay,
We're not making revenue. We're
okay,
just covering the cost of getting the vendors. So we're not making any revenue.
so it's
So we are
mainly,
benefiting from removal, but we're
Okay.
not benefiting financially. It's not a, you'll benefit from a service like a park service or using a facility, that's a revenue. This is just covering the cost of getting the vendors to do the service. So you want to take it up higher so we can so the city can.
So it's at 275 right now,
how
you said.
often do they tow? Do you know?
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, you say the city vehicles
No,
and
No.
Like
Okay.
if the police department
stop someone?
stops a car
Uh-huh.
and the vehicle.
And it had to be told.
Okay,
These are the
okay,
rates,
okay.
Or is a wreck, or anything
Right.
like that.
So the owner of the car has to pay that rate?
Yeah.
Right, so if it,
Insurance company.
so if it stayed the same, just saying if it stayed the same, wouldn't the, whatever is left over, so the balance, wouldn't the actual, the client or whoever car it is that's being towed, they would have to take care whatever is not covered by the city, right?
No.
No, this is
No,
the
they
fee
take care
No,
of
that,
no, it's the
everything.
fee, no, it's the fee that we are putting out, so that
We
goes
just
to,
say that, okay, you're a record company.
right,
You can't charge more or less than this amount,
right,
which is throughout the state, we have to decide on an amount, a fair amount.
okay.
So they just can't charge, I charge you $250, I'm gonna charge you $450. You know, there's gotta be a
Okay, 'cause it seems like, go ahead.
rate for all.
Okay, so how are we to know how much these companies are charging?
I guess
Even though,
We would have to see their reports, I guess.
okay, are we asking them for reports?
I haven't, I don't know if they have in the
Okay,
past.
because see, I think, say if my car broke down, if I have a record, what have you, and, I had to pay, say if I'm wrong in the accident, or if it wasn't wrong or not, if my vehicle has to be towed, I'm responsible for that $275.
Yes, you or your insurance company, yes, ma'am.
See, I don't know how much consistency there is with these companies. And see, the individuals being impacted by this have no way of knowing if they're paying what they are required to pay. Because I think some of these companies, now let's be open and honest about it, some of these companies are gonna try to take advantage of people, saying, well, you have to pay us this for that. You want your car, you have to pay us this. So the person panics and they act out of fear.
Can I say something, just to
Okay.
kind of help clear the air?
Okay,
The first step is for the city to establish what you want to allow tow companies to charge.
okay,
So what we're saying with this is, you cannot charge our citizens
No
more
more.
than this amount, okay? That's the first step. Then, how we let citizens know, if you have an issue with your bill, and you notice that your bill is more than $275, then you need to bring it before us so we can help you. But we first have to establish a guideline for tow companies to understand.
okay. Now, but once we establish the guideline, how would the community or the people know? How are they informed as to how much they should or should not
It's-
pay?
Right, the rate schedule becomes
It's-
published, right?
Right, it's
One
in
of
the
the things we're
budget.
doing to update our website,
Okay.
is all the rates are published.
Okay,
That, and we have, we will be sending a letter
Okay.
to the vendors that he has to let them know that starting September 1, this will be the.
okay.
Yeah,
I
and
understand
if
that.
if they don't, say one comes up, then we take them off of our vendor list, which is, I don't feel like they wanna abuse, cause that's where they make their money. And then it becomes a civil issue with the insurance or the person and the tow company. 'Cause they're different charges. You have a flat rate of $275, and then depending on the situation, like if you gotta get a big record truck, it's different. They're add-ons to that $275.
Okay, because my concern is that the citizens know.
Yeah.
they have it in writing as to how much they should or should not be paying. You're not supposed to pay over this amount, so how are we going to educate them, even though you said it would be published?
Yeah, I mean, we can put it on
how
our
do we make sure?
communication channel. That we can put this on any Facebook, whatever you guys like. I mean, we'll have a way of communicating.
Okay.
I mean,
All right, so,
and then, of course, you to hold the vendors accountable for following, I mean, if you work for us, you follow our policies, you can't charge over that amount.
yeah, I understand, they know that they're supposed to follow your policy, but how about the person who's impacted by this?
Yeah.
They don't know, because these vendors could
I mean,
just throw.
we have communication channels. You all have the opportunity as elected officials to go out and tell them. at your
To share that
community meetings.
information.
So,
Put it on, if you will, put it on the city's website,
Sure,
please.
sure.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Some concerns about the demolition fee.
Okay.
Increasing that just because we want to encourage that. I don't, I'm just a little concerned about that.
This was, go ahead.
So we did not change the fee, okay?
Okay, so the
That
fee isn't
fee
increased.
stayed the same.
Okay.
The only difference, it did not specify after the 1,000 square
Yeah.
foot was $15. So the $100 stayed the same for the first, but we did not specify
In the
for each additional 1,000 square feet for $15.
Okay.
It's demolition for what? I'm reading this. Commercial properties.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now, a lot of these commercial properties have been sitting, growing up. You have this, Coleman, is that in the city limits? Coleman out there
They call them in the county.
in the county. Okay, you have Talon out there on 52. We have a lot of commercial properties that have been sitting there and have become so blighted. I think we need to put more enforcement in there, and these commercial property owners need to be charged a per-day fee. And putting,
We have the second reading of the ordinance down there. This is just about the fee. This is just clarifying the fee. So,
Okay.
yeah, we're working on the unsafe building. That is actually the first ordinance.
yeah,
Second reading, so we're working on
yeah, because I mean, the city, we need to be making some money from them with those properties sitting there looking bad.
Okay, so,
They be making a lot of money. They got the money, they own those commercial properties, they should be able to pay it. Excellent.
any other questions or discussion on this resolution? Resolution 2026.039. None? Okay, all in favor, show of hands.
Okay.
Any opposed? None. Motion carries.
Thank you. Our next resolution, Resolution 2640. This resolution establishes a clear policy on how the city compensates eligible employees who work extra hours during disasters, emergencies, and other severe weather events. It makes sure employees are treated fairly and consistently when they are asked to work extraordinary hours during an emergency. It also requires the city to properly document those hours so that we can seek reimbursements from FEMA, the state, and other available funding sources when those costs qualify. We want to make sure that employees are fairly compensated for emergency work while also making sure the city has the records needed to recover those costs when possible.
Need a
See
motion?
the language. Yeah.
You good? Okay. Need a motion to approve Resolution 2026.040. It has been moved and second. Any questions or discussion, council? If none, all in favor, show of hands. Any opposed?
Thank you.
Motion carries.
Resolution 2641, MOU with PD Coalition. The city has a long-standing relationship with the PD Coalition, including providing city-owned space and other support. This resolution simply puts that arrangement in writing so everyone clearly understands what the city is providing and what the PD Coalition is responsible for. It creates clear expectations, protects both organizations, and gives us a formal agreement that can be reviewed and updated when necessary. We are asking council to approve the agreement so the city can support, so the city's support for PD Coalition is clearly defined, properly documented, and accountable.
Okay. Need a motion to approve Resolution 2026-041.
Move to approve.
Has been moved in second. Any questions, council? If none, all in favor, show of hands. Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right, thank you. Moving right along. Surplus property. The city has furniture, equipment, and other property we no longer need or use. This resolution officially declares those items as surplus property and allows us to sell them. It gives, and I want to say this, I had some questions from the community about this, so I prepared a statement about this, because what we're requesting is a one-time employee sale. I have, in your packet is an administrative policy of how that would conduct it, but I might need to tell the why before I make the request. Is that something you guys want?
Yes,
Just for the
sir.
community's perception, because I understand how people think, and I appreciate the opportunity. I want to address the concern that has been raised regarding the resolution and some folks thinking this is a backdoor deal for the community. I want to be clear about that. This is not a backdoor deal. This is a front door act of appreciation. The motivation behind this resolution is not financial maximization. So basically what we're asking is for the two properties that we're going to surplus on 278, y'all know what's out there. Mirrors, chairs, all kind of stuff. And then 106 East Main, we're asking for a one-time employee first sale. And I want to just give the justification, whether you voted up or not down, I want to tell you what the thinking was behind it. Okay? That makes sense? Y'all listening? All right. The motivation behind the resolution is not financial maximization. It's deeply personal and practical. We're asking our employees who have been through an incredibly difficult period, not because of their own actions, but because they were victims of the financial practices, the leadership decisions of the past. They have weathered instability, uncertainty, and change, and they have continued to serve this with dedication, often while bearing the brunt of decisions made above them. This is not a revenue-generating exercise. We're not asking to squeeze out every dollar out these assets, so we're not trying to make a lot of money off these assets. This resolution acknowledges a simple truth. We have an obligation to care for the people who make this city run. So this is an opportunity to offer tangible, transparent benefits to the very people who carried this city through the challenges. I want to stress the word transparency. This is not a violation of policy. It went through the procurement process. It's going to go through the procurement process. This is not a giveaway. It's a sealed competitive bid process. Employees are not being given these items. They are being given the opportunity to purchase them. Every employee participates on equal footings. All sales are conducted in an open and accountable way. Council members and those administering the sale are specifically excluded. Y'all can't buy nothing. Oh, sorry. That 20-foot mirror. I know you wanted this. To prevent even the appearance of impropriety. This process is fair, equitable, and follows standard municipal best practices for surplus disposition. We're offering this opportunity because we believe our employees and we want to show them that we value this service beyond the bottom line. Yes, the city is committed to responsible stewardship, but this resolution is first and foremost about respect and gratitude. That's just my take on it. But we're asking for your support or your vote up or down. Any questions or concerns?
How exactly does that work?
So in your packet, what I did was I published a administrative policy that kind of shows how it works. So you'll see it gives you the purpose, the authority, the eligible participants, the applicability, so 2 buildings, and then of course the surplus inventory, the support services department, an inventory, the item number, description, all that kind of stuff.
But would there be like a minimum set for different things? I mean, could somebody bid $1 and if nobody
That's
else
a great
bids
point.
on it,
You
you
can
get
do
it for
that.
$1? I
No,
mean,
you could set it to where the nominal value, like that mirror, right? You could look
Right.
on Amazon and see and
what
start
it's
the
worth
bid,
and
right?
then start it
Start the
there.
bid there, right? So
we're
you
not-
can't go in and get it for free.
Right.
But it would follow usual practices for conduct. So each item receives a number inventory tag, it's sealed, it has dates, the bid submission. So it follows a process, but I hear what you're saying. But I just thought it was a good idea. And, you know, if the community's not in favor of it or it will cause more problems, then we'll just take the stuff and inventory it and put it on Gov, one of the usual. But we do need to get the stuff out of those facilities. So with just, just bring it
Well,
before the body.
it does list, employee and public surplus sales.
Yes, so
Employee and
if
public.
whatever the employees don't purchase, then of course it would all, but we're gonna inventory, tag everything, won't be nobody getting stuff, and then it's just a way, to say thank you to the employees, by giving them first dibs on it. So I don't, like I said, I don't know if that, is that part of, this community wants that, but I'm just bringing it before the body and asking you all to see if this is something you could get behind.
Well, I think it's good to consider the employees, because they have endured, for the past few years, a lot of oppression, and so I guess it could kind of incentivize them. I personally see nothing wrong with that, because the public will eventually be able to weigh in on it too.
Any other questions?
Unless we decide to divide it with the employees, because if you can kind of equally divide it, where the community cannot say the employees got everything first, so what's left over, we got the leftovers. Maybe we can come up with a way to,
I mean, whatever y'all want to do. I just know we just need to clear all that stuff out. Get
Okay.
those buildings clean, so it's up to you guys.
Ready to vote? Okay. All in favor, show of hands. Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right, next resolution. Official city resolutions, this is 2026 and 043. This resolution creates a clear process for how the city issues official resolutions, proclamations, recognitions, and other formal city statements. It makes clear the difference between an individual elected official speaking for themselves and an action that officially represents the city. It gives staff a consistent way to process and keep official records, official city documents. Well, we want to make sure that when something is presented as an official position or action of the city, it is going through the proper process and has the authority of the city behind it. And so we're just asking for that resolution, and I have, I don't need to read, but there's a reason for this, which I think is good.
Okay. Need a motion to approve resolution 2026-043.
move to approve.
Been properly moved in second. Any discussion?
Mr. Whitaker, can you give just a synopsis of this having anyone going out doing proclamations, say it, you mentioned something in there, I read it, but like funerals and all this.
Yeah, so I just want to, I'm just going to read my statement.
Okay.
Is that okay, for the
Yeah.
public record? Okay. I want to speak in support of this resolution. I want to be very clear why it's necessary and good governance measure for the city of Lake City. The resolution is not about any one person. It's about clarity, consistency, and protecting the integrity of the city's voice. As administrator, I'm responsible for ensuring that the operations of the city run smoothly and that our staff have clear written procedures to follow. Right now, we do not have a formal, uniform process on how official resolutions, proclamations, or recognitions are issued on behalf of the city. That creates confusion for staff, for council members, and most importantly, for the public. When a proclamation is issued, the public reasonably assumes it carries the full weight and authority of the city council. It is presented as an official city action, but without a clear process, there's no way to ensure that every official statement has actually been reviewed, vetted, and authorized by the governing body. This resolution draws a clear and healthy distinction between two things: an individual elected official expressing their personal views or offering their personal recognition, which is entirely appropriate and protected speech, and an official action that speaks on behalf of the entire city, which must carry the authority of the council. By establishing this process, we protect the council's collective authority, and we protect individual members from being in a position where their personal statements are misconstrued as official city policy. From an administrative standpoint, this is also about efficiency and record keeping. Staff need clear guidance. Right now, we receive requests for proclamations from multiple directions with no consistent process for tracking, reviewing, or archiving them. This resolution gives us a straightforward framework to ensure all official statements are reviewed for accuracy and appropriateness, maintain a complete and searchable public record of all city official actions, provide the public with confidence that when the city speaks, it does so with one consistent voice. This is a best practice. Many municipalities have similar policies in place. It is not controversial. It's simply good government. It strengthens transparency, protects the council's authority, and helps staff to do their job more effectively. So that's what
Okay.
I'd say.
So what I read earlier, just for clarification, none of us here, no one here can just arbitrarily go out and do a proclamation unless it comes
Yeah,
through,
that's- Charlie, you want
unless it comes through council. And also I read something where I think the seal or what have you for the city, that the clerk, only the clerk should have that information. Because I think there have been cases where people have gone and done proclamations, even had family members do proclamations on behalf of council without council's knowledge. This is inappropriate, and I think it's an abuse of the ordinance, and to, have these done at funerals, when if you do it for some, you have to go do it all over town. And I think it's so unfair to approach people when they're grieving in order for someone to have personal gain, because sometimes that can be misconstrued as a person trying to campaign using the deceased and the family, taking advantage of them. And I think that's very insensitive and it's very cruel. So from here on out, and I've never done one anywhere, whoever's done it, then I think we need to take more precaution. And what happens, okay, say if what you just said, if that's ignored and individuals decide to continue to abuse it.
I just think this is the path forward. That's what I'll say. Let's just do it right moving forward.
Okay. What are the consequences?
Council's a self-regulating body, so.
So just for clarity's sake and to keep it relatively high level, the ordinances spell out certain powers that are vested in a strong mayor, which the city of Lake City is. And there's powers vested in the city administrator, and of course, powers vested in the council. Certain powers like issuing a proclamation for an emergency, for example, is specifically vested in the mayor, right? That's sort of black letter law under the ordinances. And so there's a continuum, right? And there's an ability of a strong mayor to conduct the meeting, to move forward with agendas and so on and so forth. But then also the council, right? With a majority of requests can have things on an agenda. Right, so it's hard to say there's a specific black letter, it has to be here, or it has to be there, or this person can only do this, or this person can only do that. But what this ordinance or resolution is setting out is this is how it's gonna flow, right? Because no matter what, the city has an obligation to comply with Open Records Act, and things must flow through the city to comply with those sorts of things. So that's the lens through which the resolution kind of comes. As the city administrator said, of having this uniformity, not just in process, but how it's kind of relayed out.
Okay. Am I clear to say that only the clerk is responsible for preparing these? Did I read that somewhere? Or maybe in an
The clerk
ordinance?
has a part of,
Preparing those proclamations or what have you with the seal.
So I have a question. With this resolution here, it's stating what are the process? What is the process? So if someone requests, because traditionally, and this has been a mayoral ceremonial duty to present proclamations and funeral resolutions. So with this resolution, what are the steps that will be taken? So if someone requests for say the mayor or a council member, elected official, to do a funeral resolution or a proclamation, with this resolution, what are the steps now?
just the same steps that you would follow to bring something before the council. I mean,
So if someone, just for an example, if someone requests for a funeral resolution,
yeah, I
it
don't know
will-
how someone would request, like, they just call you and and ask for?
I mean, I can only answer for myself. Yeah, contact the
I
mayor.
think we could bring a slate of those to the body for support.
So-
It would follow any process that you would bring before the body.
So it will come to a council meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so would that have to be a special call meeting if the
No, it
funeral?
would just be the proclamation at the duly called meeting. You could just add it to the agenda.
So it
But-
wouldn't be at the funerals?
That's why I'm,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know
You
if,
got a few in 3 days. They
yeah, I
just
don't know,
have a-
I don't
a
know how
meeting.
how that works because I guess you're not, it's not an emergency, right? It's something, I mean, is there a way to poll the, if you're gonna provide resolutions at everyone's funeral or mass, you'll be having meetings all the time.
right.
So, I mean, the real ask is what do you want to exclude? Do you want the mayor to be able to give a funeral resolution on behalf of city council?
Well, how-
You all could cede that authority, but that's one particular type of proclamation, right? We're talking about, of course, resolutions are act of the council. You can't do a resolution by yourself.
It's not that often that a grieving family member would call to have a resolution or a proclamation done.
There's
They don't
been,
do it. They don't.
there's been many that has called, and I know
That,
prior to me, the mayors prior to me have went out and done,
So let me
Funeral
go back to something I
no,
said.
no, no.
Hold on, I need y'all to, an individual elected official expressing their personal views. All right, the difference between personal views and an official act of city council, the city of Lake City, are two different things. You can go and say anything at any funeral that you want to, but we're talking about official acts of the city.
Exactly.
which you're saying a
Okay.
funeral resolution is an act of the city.
Has to
Now
come
you're
through the
saying
city.
it will be. You can go to any funeral, any of you can go and represent yourself as an elected official with personal views, but when you put in the city seal, then that's an official act.
Okay,
That's all.
clarification, that's good.
Okay, so when you're using the seal, well, say for instance, like you use a seal on the letterhead, or you use a seal on a certificate to recognize or give someone a certificate of recognition for, is this resolution stating that you cannot use
No, it's
the
just for
seal for that?
proclamations. No, it's just
Proclamation.
for.
So it's only for
proclamations on behalf of
proclamation.
the
You're not
city.
supposed to do
Okay, so
that.
if you put in a seal, say it again, I'm sorry.
Resolutions, proclamations, well, of course, ordinances, but resolutions and proclamations goes without saying. Proclamations come from the city.
Okay, so certificate of recognitions,
Yeah, that's not a proclamation.
that's fine to do.
Yeah, that's.
Okay,
that's not a-
I'm just asking because I want to be clear
Yes, ma'am.
with this resolution.
If something says proclamation, it's a proclamation.
So whenever the steps for any proclamation or resolution, funeral resolution or whatever resolution
No such
comes
thing as a
through,
Funeral resolution.
it will have to come through whom first to be approved to do?
No, you just put it on the agenda
Come through council.
to come through council.
So it's council approval or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Or every time.
That'd be after the fact.
But what I'm saying is, if you go into a funeral,
Yeah.
you don't have to have a proclamation from the city. You could go to the funeral and give, I'm here, I'm Councilwoman Ms. Scott, now, I represent this ward, that's perfectly fine. But you're saying a proclamation of the city,
That's
we
gonna,
don't know.
that's
So
gonna,
Go ahead.
Let me give
Let's
two,
not
like,
abuse
extreme
it. Let's not
examples
abuse it.
that I think will help this. There may be some cause of, let's make it Republican or Democrat, right? There may be some really far, either way, cause that one of y'all supports. Okay, you're entitled to that. But you can't issue a proclamation with a city seal on it saying, I hereby proclaim that this is
so-and-so's name.
right and everything else is wrong. All right, so that's one sort of extreme. Another proclamation is, National Housing Week, right? No one disagrees with that.
Right.
Right? But to proclaim it, that's on the agendas, right?
Right.
All the time. It's usual and
Right.
customary.
We have fair
So if you
housing
wanna
and all that.
go to that far right or left meeting and say, I'm council member so-and-so and I'm mayor so-and-so, that's fine. That's your constitutional right.
Right.
So when it comes to funerals and such, it's a custom for a pretty document that's framed, that y'all seen in people's homes. That's done after the fact. That's usually not done at the funeral.
Oh, ooh,
I mean, it can be, but
Should not be.
if you want the formality of that, then it would be a proclamation. But again, as the city administrator is saying, there's nothing stopping you from attending and speaking and doing and giving those things where we're not council's not proclaiming anything.
that's right.
Councilwoman Askins is, or the mayor is, or whomever in their sort of individual capacity that happens to be a councilwoman or council or mayor.
Yeah, because I don't think it's that often people call for that. People are not, in the community are not accustomed to that. So, and I think it's in poor taste to go to grieving families, as I repeated earlier,
And it is
to
not,
ask them to do this when it's not about them. You go to funerals for the people, for the family.
well, just to give one other example, like for instance, if y'all go to the fruit truck rodeo and you get up and stand and speak, let's just use Councilwoman Askins, that doesn't have to go through council.
Right.
Yes.
It's not a proclamation.
Right, right.
So-
Everyone knows who you are and you get up there and you speak. Now, if you want to make August 10th Food Truck Day for the city of Lake City, well, that's proclaiming something on behalf of the city, and so that would need to flow through these processes.
Thank you.
Let me ask another question, what you stated that, like when you go to somewhere and you speak, because I've heard it happen, you know, not just in government, but in other organizations like school board, when their representative go and speak and they said on behalf of, are we stating that in here as well too?
We
That
can't
we
speak for them, we only speaking for city council. You can't talk about the school board and what they do.
Excuse me.
That's separate.
Are we stating that here in this resolution as well? If we're stating on
no.
behalf, because there's
The
things
school
I've
board
gone
has
to,
their
like,
own- The school board has its own codes or what have you. We don't
so
govern
like
them.
when, for an example, so for an
They're from the
example,
State Department of
whenever,
Education, we're from the
Ms.
Municipal
Crosby,
Association of South Carolina.
excuse me.
We do not.
Excuse
But
me.
why are you belaboring this so?
So
What's wrong
whenever,
with- I mean, why are you belaboring it?
Can we just take a deep breath, please? Let's
Thank you.
stop. This is a business meeting at the end of the day.
Yes.
Let's just stop, take a deep breath.
Thank you.
just, just asking questions for clarity.
Okay, my understanding is, the on behalf is not saying that it's proclaiming something else. Just,
Thank you.
you're a
Thank you.
representative of a
Yes.
council, and you can represent the council, but officially in a proclamation,
Yes.
we're asking that those things come before council.
Okay.
That's as simple as that.
Just want to make sure, because I'm out there to represent the city and the citizens in my capacity as mayor or whoever's in this position. And there's times that we say on behalf of the city or on behalf of the city council or behalf of the citizens of Lake City.
As long as it's
So
not
I
a
want to make
proclamation
sure
with a seal.
with this resolution,
No, it doesn't address that.
thank you.
Yes, ma'am. No, that's it, that's the end of the
Yeah.
resolution. Thank you. That's what I'm asking.
Yes.
That's what-
All in favor?
If that's,
All in favor.
if that's all in favor, show of hands.
Okay, you got it?
Vote on
Any
the sale.
opposed? Motion passes.
All right, municipal elections. 2644, we are bringing this resolution forward because the resolution would direct myself and the city attorney to review and update Chapter 10 of the city code, which covers municipal elections, and make sure that it's properly updated in Muni Code, where our ordinances are published. Some of the language in our current code is outdated and no longer reflects how our elections are actually conducted. Today, our municipal elections are administered by the Florence County Board of Voter Registration and Elections. The goal is to remove outdated language, update state law references, and make sure our code accurately reflects our current election process. So as you all know, our elections process was taken over by Florence County Voter Registration back in 2006, but in Muni Code, we're still saying that we conduct our own process. So the current code publication is 20 years out of date. So me and Charlie would go through a process to update that.
Okay.
We're just asking for your support.
Need a motion to approve Resolution 2026-044.
Move to approve.
Second.
Has been properly moved in second. Any questions, council? If none, all in favor, show of hands. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. I'm just going to read the language from the second reading of the, we're going down to the ordinance section. The language for the second reading for the ordinance to establish a uniform process. I'm going to read the cover sheet. The proposed ordinance establishes a process for identifying and addressing unsafe, non-residential. Remember, we already have a ordinance for houses, but this is for commercial buildings, while providing due process to property owners through notice, hearings, and appeal processes. This ordinance would authorize the building official to inspect commercial and other non-residential structures that may be unsafe and constitute a public nuisance, issue notices and complaints when unsafe conditions exist, conduct administrative hearings, order repair, stabilization, securing, boarding, and demolition when appropriate, require owners to correct dangerous conditions within specific time frames. So one of the things we always get is we want you to take care of your property. So demolition is the last resort, right? The very last resort. And then authorize the city to perform necessary work when owners fail to comply with recovery of costs through liens and other remedies authorized by law. So this is second reading to make sure that we're covered in our cleanup of the commercial buildings as you guys discussed earlier. We're just asking for council support.
Need a motion to approve ordinance 2026.010.
Move to approve.
It has been moved in second. Any questions, council?
Now, I noticed this ordinance says amending. This is amending the previous.
This is adding, yes, this is adding
yeah.
non-residential to.
Okay. To residential.
To residential.
Okay.
We didn't have that.
Okay.
Any other questions? If none, all in favor, show of hands. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much. I'll pick this mixed up quick. I think we're on the Cole Road, Chase. Let me see where I put Chase Oil. Thank you. This ordinance provides the first reading of a proposed development agreement between the City of Lake City and CCH Walk Lake City LLC concerning the proposed commercial development of approximately 29 acres identified as Florence County Tax Map Parcel 0016-0019631-024 and 0019631001. The proposed agreement establishes the respective responsibilities of the city and the developer regarding enhanced sewer lift station, roadway and utility infrastructure and other development improvements, and provides certain economic development incentives contingent upon developer qualifying investment exceeding $5 million. The proposed incentives include an offset of up to $400,000 associated with enhanced sewer lift station, waiver of applicable water and sewer tap fees, and a 50% reduction in applicable building permit fees, subject to the terms and conditions of the agreement. First reading will allow council to review and consider the proposed agreement before any final action is taken.
Need a motion to approve ordinance 2026-011.
Move to approve.
It has been moved in second. Any questions, council? If none, all in favor, show of hands. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. All right, the next ordinance is the first reading for 278 Cole Road. This ordinance declared the city-owned property at 278 Cole Road as surplus because the city no longer needs it for municipal operations.
This is the first formal step in the city's procurement process for disposing of the property. The city has already completed an appraisal, and declaring the property surplus allows us to move forward with the required process of its possible disposal. The ordinance does not approve sale. Any approved sale, including the method of sale, final terms, will come back to the city council for approval. We're asking council to take the first step in the legal and procurement process to dispose of this property the city no longer needs. So this is just the surplus declaration part.
Need a motion to approve ordinance 2026-012.
Move to approve?
It has been moved and second. Any questions, discussion? If none, all in favor, show of hands. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much. All right. Where are we at?
New
Off my
business.
agenda. New business, all right. So, thank y'all for moving quickly through that. New business. We recently received a request for funding through the city's hospitality tax. And as we begin to look at it, we realize that the city needs a clear process for handling these types of requests. We don't have one now. Right now, we do not have a formal application process, scoring system, advisory committee, grant agreement, or reporting processes for hospitality tax funding. Before we continue or consider individual requests, I believe we should establish a consistent process that is fair, transparent, and follows South Carolina law. The basic idea that would be that an organization submits an application, the staff determine whether the request is eligible, and an advisory committee reviews and scores the request and then makes a recommendation to city council. Council will still have the final say as to how the city's hospitality taxes are spent. Y'all know hospitality is around promoting tourism and growing the city. And we get an allotment every year. I also want to point out the hospitality tax and accommodation tax are not the same thing. They're governed by different state laws and have different rules about how the money can be used. So while we look at what the other communities like Florence are doing, Lake City needs to develop a process specifically for our hospitality funds. We're not asking the council to approve of anything. We just want to inform you that we're going to begin the work to present you with a process for using hospitality tax moving forward. So just wanted to put it on your radar. Okay?
It's on.
So then I know I had. The next thing is the work base. I got so much paper in my novels, is what probably calls them. But I can quickly say that we are working with the Florence 3 School District. We had 2 great meetings last week, one meeting was myself and the mayor meeting on a work-based solution with some students to do some career support work, but also we met with the superintendent to kind of tell him our vision for the future relationship. And we'll be bringing some things back to you about how we can be a worker, basically a student to work pipeline with the support of the city. The mayor, if you want to join, but we had a really good meeting with the superintendent. Found out he's from Poe Mary. I'm familiar. My stepdad was from Newberry County. That means they eat mustard-based barbecue up there. But he's a good young man, excellent choice and leader. Played baseball at Newberry College and really is a great supporter of Lake City and the communities and families. So we're looking forward to an extremely productive relationship. Ms. Millette had some very concrete asks of him, and we are really excited about the future of our 2 organizations serving this community in really in a wonderful way. So, they presented us with this work, this pipeline opportunity to help support these students, and we're going to be looking at it. And I just want to share that with council.
Okay.
Yes,
Mayor?
it would definitely, both meetings were very, very productive and informative. The first meeting, were you looking for that proposal from
No,
Ms.?
I'm looking for my write-up.
Okay. But the first meeting was with several educators at the high school, including the principal, Mr. Cook, and others, and to talk about a partnership between the city of Lake City and
Work-based learning partnership is what it's
yes,
called.
work-based learning partnership. Pretty much the purpose, and his states here from Mr. Leon Burgess stated every student may not pursue college, but every student will enter the workforce. And as a community, we share responsibilities for preparing them with the skills, confidence, and professional exposure necessary to succeed. So this partnership will be able to equip the students, be able to partner with different departments within our city. And we already, years before, I know we did internships. We did not do any summer internships, I think the last 1 or 2 summers. But we've done it with the public works. We did it with public information, PIO, when we had that department. So we just want to bring this forth to council to talk about and hopefully to bring back to the next meeting to do an MOU with the Florence
Ask for
Group.
some action. So
Yes.
just wanted to keep you in the loop on that. Real
Thank you.
promising. We're really excited. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. We want to move into my report. The first thing, we want to offer our interim police chief an opportunity to introduce staff or say a few words, and then we're going to turn it over to Mr. Kirkley to do his report.
Yeah, thank you. Been asking to be here. I know I'm here. But just some promotions that were made, I'll say recently, since I've been here. Carl Scott was promoted to captain, so he is now the, if you will, the number 2 in the police department. Miss Yvonne McKnight was promoted to lieutenant over investigations. Josh Osmus, I mess that up most of the time. He is now a sergeant on patrol. Mr. Edie, sergeant on patrol. Brittany Hood was promoted to SRO sergeant over the SRO program. We have Lucas Cusia. Yeah, thank you. Just graduated from police academy, so he has started, much needed help. We have one that, a female, Ms. Johnson, that's got 2 weeks left. She'll be out working patrol as well. We've hired an SRO for Main Street School, Ms. Dorsey, and another, Mr. White, has to go to the academy, but he'll be on patrol as well when he finishes that. Biggest thing right now going on in the police department is, so we've gotten our Motorola, which is our body camera, in-car camera system, updated, much needed. Big thanks to Joel and Carl Scott. They really got this going and made it happen. We still have some training to do, but it is, we had some files from a long time ago that we could not get until this was upgraded. But it's, transparency, we all wear body cameras, in-car cameras, so it's big for that, and we needed to upgrade. So that has been done, and I think we're moving on. We're in the right direction. So, thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Do they have these? Okay, I provided some slides, if you want to call them. Just to kind of, I wanted to update y'all where we're staying. Now that you heard that the 25 audit has been completed, submitted to the state, and he went over those numbers, where we stand right now and what we expect moving forward. So 25 audit has been completed. That's great news, but the financial numbers are not great news in the report he provided. And we knew that. 'Cause when I came in October to try to help, when I got the call to try to help the city, I first reviewed your budget and saw some real issues in your budget. So we went through that whole process of amending the budget for 25-26 to give y'all some realistic numbers that y'all can focus on to help move the city in the right direction. He provided you at 6/30/2025, you had a negative fund balance, $1.2 million. And so we were in a hole. So we had to find a way to dig out of the hole. And it starts with budgets. We got to have good budgets that we can rely on and then follow. We have to follow the budget. We can't just pass a budget and do whatever we want to. We got to follow it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through where we at for this year up to June 2026. We'll start with the general fund, the financial overview. So year-to-date revenues were 11.39 million, for the general fund. Of that 11.39 million, 1.6, I believe, 1.6 was debt that we acquired for the hole that we were in. The $1.2 million hole we were in. We acquired debt to pay bills, is what we did, okay? But we still met our budget revenue, okay, for the year that we passed. So we were in good standings with what we projected, moving for 25-26. Our year-to-date expenditures were 9.39 million, which was 96% of our budget. So we did not even expend the whole budget that we prepared, for 25-26 which is what we needed to do, okay? We didn't need to spend the whole budget. We tried to make a reasonable budget, but we tried to cut as much as we could through the year because we have to build our fund balance back up, okay? So that being said, 11 million revenue, 9 million expenditures, we had a $2 million surplus at the end of the year thanks to the debt that we acquired, okay, to pay the bills. So we have built back our fund balance from the debt, okay? We got debt that we're paying, but it did help pay all our prior bills that we had accumulated, which were a lot, okay? But we are, at this point in time, I believe we only have one bill from 24-25 that's set to be paid, I think, coming up. Other than that, we're current, okay? We got, all of our bills are current. All of our bills are current. I just reviewed the payables list. So, general fund, I think we're moving in the right, we're not perfect. Like you said, you want 3 to 6 months. I think that's a good, healthy reserve. We're not there, obviously, but we are going on the right track. And it starts with our budget preparation, year in and year out, with council and working through those workshops so y'all can truly understand the revenues that are coming in, the expenditures that are going out, and that we're preparing a good, sound, fundamental budget for the city. And I think we're doing that. We're on the right path. The rest of the slides kind of give you a revenue performance. It'll show you where we budgeted, like for city taxes, we were 102% over budget. We brought in 3.9 million, so we were a little bit more than what we budgeted, which is a good thing. It means we had a conservative budget possibly. But these are just highlighted areas. Revenue performance, I got departmental expenditure status right here. So each department that I gave you a breakdown, support services, government officials, finance, police, it shows you what we budgeted versus our year to date. And you can see that we had some that were a little over budget and some that were under. Okay, these are the things that we will continue to look at and determine why we over budget. What do we need to adjust moving forward? These are the things that we should be doing this on a monthly basis, okay? Obviously, all the catch-up that we've been trying to play, we haven't been able to do that. But we are getting to a point where our bank accounts are being reconciled on a monthly basis. We are getting to where we can start reviewing budget to actual monthly, which should be provided to y'all every single month. You should see it, the budget for that month, what we spend every single month, okay? And so that is the goal moving forward. We will provide you with monthly financial statements that you can look at.
Good.
Again, remember that these are not audited financial statements. There will be some accruals that need to be made that I'll work through and get those ready for the audit. But I don't see any drastic changes from my looking in as an overview at this point to occur. But other than that, I feel good about the general fund where we're at. I feel like we're moving in the right direction. I feel like we've made some tough cuts, over the year, but I think it's the cuts we've made to try to put City of Lake City back where it needs to be, and that's in the black, not in the red, okay? We need a fund balance, and we need to do what's right for the city. So I think we're moving in the right direction there. The water fund, financial overview, I'll go through this one very quickly. We had, for the water, we had 2.49 million of year-to-date revenue. That is 101% of our budget, so we exceeded our revenue budget. Our expenditures were 2.25 million, which were 91% of our budget, so we were under budget. And so that left a year-to-date surplus for the water fund of 253,000. Obviously, there is equity, there is a net position in the water fund, but it's all mainly in capital, your infrastructure, so there's not really a healthy unreserved fund balance, so we are building for that as well. And so our budget that we put together that was amended by y'all, October, November for the 25-26 year looks to be on point to where we're at, where we moved at during the year. And again, the rest of the slides are very similar to the general fund, revenue, performance versus the budget, and it has some departmental, debt service, water, public works, non-departmental, and it shows you our year-to-date budget and our year-to-date actuals, and you can see those. Sewer fund. Sewer fund, we had 3.71 million, that is 88% of our budget, so we underperformed on our budget that we put together for the sewer fund, mainly related to the calculations surrounding the rate changes with the sewer. It was estimated higher than we anticipated, than we really showed revenue collections. It looks like it's gonna be more of a $3.2 million revenues for sewer rather than the 3.4 that we anticipated. Year-to-date expenditures, however, were 3.7 million, 87% less than our budget. So we were less in revenue and less in expenditures, which left us with a $4,000 surplus for the sewer fund. So we broke even. Sewers, we're not gonna make a whole lot of money in sewers. Usually, the water fund should help with the sewer fund. That's why moving forward, we have most of the times, or I say most of the time, everywhere I've been, the water and sewer fund are one enterprise fund together. They work together, and so moving forward, these funds will be presented to you as one fund, water and sewer fund. It'll be enterprise fund for the city. It won't be separate funds moving forward, where y'all have separate water fund, sewer fund, stormwater funds. Stormwater can be separate, but I think we're lumping it all together. You'll still be able to clearly see water revenue, sewer revenue, stormwater revenues. We'll still have department breakdown for wastewater, water, and all that. But we are gonna combine these moving forward. So overall, general fund, water fund, sewer fund, the budgets that we put together in October, November, we sat down many meetings going through these budgets with the information that we had. I feel like we worked together as a great team and put together a realistic budget. This gives us a good foundation for us to continue moving in the right direction for 26, 27. We took this information, we developed a budget that we have now that has been passed, and we will continue to strive to provide y'all with monthly financial statements. In that way, it'll give us say December, 6 months in the year, we will be able to review, and we might need to make amendments. We might need to look at our budget and say, what's happening here? We really need to do that. And y'all are not the only city that struggles with the budgets and the reviewing. This is happening in a lot of places. And so I just commend the council, the staff, for trying to move in the right direction. And I think y'all have done a really good job in a short period of time. I mean, it's only been since October. You didn't even have a 24 audit done when I got here in October. And we got 2 audits done. And we got a budget amended for 25-26 that has in line with what we really realistically see. I mean, y'all's original budget showed $12 million of revenues in the general fund. Y'all don't collect that on a year-by-year basis. So we have come a long way, and I'm looking forward to where we're gonna be at the end of next year. And, I think the city's in the right direction, I really do. So, you got anything? You got anything? Yes, ma'am. It was, yeah. It should be all in one. It's all one enterprise fund.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so I think we're at, bills to approve. Did he leave us? Is he back? Oh, he's back. Okay, thank you, sir. You got your back? No. I'm sorry.
Thank y'all.
Is he gonna approve? Can you bring the bills to approve up, sir?
Need a motion to approve bills for this month, the month of June, excuse me. This is for the month of June? Month of August. We're gonna be paying them in August, but those are July bills. They're a month behind. Okay, I just see here in June, here in June. If you see that says description, July payments. So for August. This is, yeah, we paying, in the month of August, we're paying, making July payments. So I need a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
It has been moved and second. Any questions, council? If none, all in favor, show of hands. Any opposed? Thank you. Next, we have finally our council member reports and mayor reports.
Thank you all for coming out. Congratulations again to Captain Thomas Black on his retirement. Also to the late Mr. Burgess and Mr. Jenkins, thank you for your service. Also, please continue to keep Chief Randy Driggers and his family in your prayers. I do realize tonight was a very lengthy meeting. Thank you all for still who are here. Thank you, and hope to see you all next month.
Secretary's sentiments, and while the meeting was going on, I received a text where it said that Mr. Albert Jenkins was the first firefighter. I received a text from his son tonight. His late Mr. Lane Anderson, the son, sent me a text saying that Mr. Lane was the first firefighter, and he was my next door neighbor. So, Joel, I want to make sure it goes on record that your father is recognized as the first firefighter, Mr. Lane Anderson. And thank you all for coming.
Okay. Again, thanks everyone that came out this evening. It's been a long evening, but a good one. And thanks to everyone that made it possible that we are above the water with our budget. My hat goes off to all of you for your cooperation and working together to make Lake City a great city. I always call it great. I live here. On Beauregard Street, on the corner, that building is a mess going toward Carter Mill. Hopefully they'll clean it up or tear it down. On the next corner where the Napa station at, the person that used that building, they'll put the furniture there and stay there all summer. So imagine how much rats and everything is in those chairs. They don't move them, they want to clean them up, they put them out there. If it was somewhere else, I don't think they would do that. But we want better for our neighborhood. And the Dollar General, they let that whole pond just grow up. You can't hardly see the road when you come to out there. I almost hit a car because my sight is kind of limited and through a bush. But that need to be taken care of. There's so many streets that have holes and stuff in it, need repair. But I know only one day at a time that we have to take forward and do little by little. So I appreciate everything that you all have done to make these efforts for the change here in Lake City. And I gave to our chief, you know, he had a great sympathy, Mike, known his wife through the years, watching his son grow up, and I can only imagine how they feel this evening. So let's keep it in prayer. Thank you.
Thank you to everyone for coming and staying for the meeting, and I want to thank everybody for all their hard work. I do still have some concerns about the employee surplus sale, and I think it might be something we still need to look at. But I do appreciate everybody coming, and keep the Driggers family in your prayers, and thank you, everybody.
Thank you to everyone for coming out. Again, school has started, so of course you want to keep all the kids, teachers, all the staff in your prayers throughout the whole school year. Thank you, Chief Rollins, for all that you do. I know that you have been working in District 4 and gotten some things done, so we appreciate that. I've been getting some good feedback from some of the constituents, so they are happy with the changes that have been made in the area. Again, I know that it's a lot going on. Just keep everyone in your prayers, all the bereaved families around Lake City, and let's just continue to strive to work together as a governing body for the benefit of the city. And if you guys have any other concerns, or you need to see me for District 4 or for any part, in Lake City as a whole, of course, I'm easy to be reached. You can contact me on my city cell or via email. Other than that, you guys have a good night, and remember to stay vigilant and stay safe.
Thank you, council members. Thank you.
Everyone for coming tonight. I know it's been 2 hours. And we're going to go ahead and cut it short. I did have a lot of information that I wanted to share because I did attend the annual meeting in Greenville of the Municipal Association. And I had also some information we do have on Lake City Find Help on our website for people that need help finding different resources. Please go to our website and find those community resources. And I do congratulate Mr. Thomas Black once again on his retirement of many years of service in the city of Lake City. And I still continue to give my condolences to the late Mr. Calvin Burgess and Mr. Alvin Jenkins Jr., and definitely to our own Fire Chief Randy Driggers for the loss of his wife. And today is his birthday. So please continue to keep him in your prayers, his son in your prayers. And message to our community simply is this: more love and less hate. Let's be better together. Need a motion to adjourn. Thank you.